Who's at Stamford Bridge tonight for this one? A noisy Stamford Bridge, I'm told. And this, what's interesting about this, Jules, is that there were no fans at the semi-final. This game between Real Madrid and Chelsea was a repeat of the semi-final last season. No fans present for this one. Totally different story this time around.
Yeah, and they've made a massive difference, Kate. It is still pretty loud in Stamford Bridge. You can probably hear, and there's no Chelsea fans in here. They've all filtered out. The noise you can hear are the Real Madrid supporters, 1,800 of them just in the away stand here, who are singing, and I imagine will be having some kind of late fiesta in London tonight, because they have just seen their side put 3 past the Champions League holders in their home ground. Those fans made a massive difference tonight. They didn't stop singing from the first whistle until the final whistle. And in that second half, when Karim Benzema completed his hat-trick, I think it surprised everyone because it was so quick after kick-off in the second half. But those away fans went crazy. They erupted because they knew what a difference it would make if they could take a 2-goal advantage to the home leg next week in Spain. And of course, as you just mentioned, Kate, no fans last season when they played each other in the semi-final and Chelsea won, getting themselves to the final and going on to win the competition. And they've made a massive difference here tonight. They could make an even bigger difference out in Spain next week as well. It has been some atmosphere here.
Yeah, we'll come back to you very shortly and talk to you about that second leg and look ahead to that. I just want to go through the goals for this game with the guys. It was a great game to watch. Karim Benzema, of course, playing a starring role with his hat-trick. Let's take a look at his first goal, Jamie.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And this is why we talk about Benzema so highly, because very rarely you see strikers involved in the build-up and then have that ability to get into the box so quickly and then finish like that. I mean, that's one of the great headers you'll see. I said that before this season. I mean, the pass, the outside of the right foot, the weight of the pass, the direction, everything about that is just not what you expect, but this is Champions League. This is the top level, and this is where the top players deliver. And that's why, as I said, he's right at the top of the goal-scoring charts, and he's performing as he is.
We didn't have to wait long for his second goal either, Slaven.
Yeah, similar goal, to be fair. Not because it's header, but again, Chelsea lost the ball in a dangerous area. They are not organized. Yes, they protect the box, but they can't stop this dangerous position for crosses that Modric has done. I mean, on this level, every little mistake you have to pay, especially when you are not marking the players. Like both times, they are clear headers. They are brilliant headers, but both of them are clear. And if you give a world-class striker like Benzema is, especially in this moment, he's the best in the world. That's enough for him.
They are unbelievable headers, that. I mean, when you're going backwards there, he's actually got to head that and almost head it past the post. And then the natural trajectory will take it inside the post. But to be going backwards, and the first header that we see, I mean, that's why we talk about him being the complete centre-forward.
Yeah, then at this point in the game, obviously, you know that Chelsea need a goal to stay in touch and to keep hanging on, and Kai Havertz comes up with a massive goal for them, Micah.
Yeah, he did. I thought he was Chelsea's best player tonight. Chelsea disappointed me a little bit, but when this goal went in, I thought, game on. And it is another great header, gets in that position, lovely little bit of movement, inside to out. Keeper probably should have done a little bit better, but it's a really good header. At this point, I think Chelsea are going to take the game to Real Madrid, but obviously in the second half so early on, Mendy makes a mistake and, yeah, they get punished.
It was 46 seconds into the second half. It was a terrible mistake from Mendy.
Awful mistake. I mean, in an awful time, to be fair. Look at this. You go from half-time, we can come back, and then this. Also a bit of Rudiger. Okay, yeah. He was booked. He was afraid that he ain't going to get a red, but horrible mistake, terrible. But Real Madrid was...
How's that for a manager, Slaven? Because he's obviously made 2 substitutions. You're thinking, OK, we've got back into the game just before half-time. You make those 2 changes, and then it's almost... You get... It's just almost just...
Come on, boys, because you can't predict this to happen. You know what I mean? But still you go, still we have 45 minutes. Maybe it's not enough, and it's not enough. Our plan and aim is not to win the game now because it's 3-1. But even 3-2 is a good result. Yeah. But for me, Real Madrid was brilliant. I mean, they were complete. Sometimes they were pressing up. Sometimes they were in the middle block. Sometimes we commented that they were defending so deep, like old-fashioned English clubs, like 6 at the back. On the ball, they were great on counter-attacks, but also good in keeping the ball, changing the pace of the ball. They were brilliant. They were brilliant tonight.
Karim Benzema, the first player to ever score a hat-trick against Chelsea in Europe. It's just a fantastic night from him. It could have been 4 for him before that as well, before we saw that incident there. He had this opportunity.
Yeah, he had this one. I think it comes on his actual left foot. He just can't quite sort his feet out. I mean, you wouldn't expect him to miss that, Micah.
No, man who's in proper form. We thought he was just going to roll it into
certainly
the net.
Certainly the form he's shown in the last 6 months.
It's gone over my head, that one.
If you're thinking about Real Madrid picking up that result tonight against Chelsea and potentially going back to the Bernabeu and getting the job done, if they do get past Chelsea, knowing that they've already gotten past PSG as well, would you now look at them as a team that you have to give a really good chance of going all the way in this tournament?
Yes, I think if they got Atletico Madrid in the semi-final, I mean, they're top of the league. They've got the edge on Atletico. You see the league table over there, but it's still a derby game. But I'd still fancy Manchester City to beat Real Madrid. I would. I just think even in the Bernabeu and the size of the pitch at the Etihad and the Bernabeu, the spaces are a lot bigger. And Madrid is a team full of legendary players. But they're certainly an aging team, and I think it probably helped tonight. Stamford Bridge is one of those pitches, a little bit like Anfield. It feels tight and a bit closer. I agree with you, but I just think if it was a much bigger pitch and it was Man City, the Etihad and the Bernabeu, I'd see Man City come out on top.
Yeah, but I was writing that apart from 10 minutes in the second half, energy-wise, Real Madrid looked tonight like a Premier League team. They were on a second ball. They were more aggressive. They were tackling. And Micah, you said a great thing. You said like that the game was a little bit too. That the game. No.
Give him his time. Give him his moment.
You said that the game was a little bit too open for Chelsea. Before the game, if you ask me, or I'm sure 99% of the football people. Who's got more chance in an open game, Chelsea or Real Madrid? Everybody will say Chelsea because Real Madrid is aging team and all that. But no, they were full of energy.
Yeah. And
they were brilliant.
Chelsea did have some chances in that second half, particularly. They just couldn't put them away. And here's the first one from Ashley McQuarrie, who ends up in the end. I know it's probably a half chance. It's a great save. But Chelsea did try to do something, but I agree with Slaven in terms of the Real Madrid just looked up for it tonight. When we see Real Madrid against a PSG, you're thinking they're going to go deep.
He's got to score that though, Mike, hasn't he?
This is a chance.
That's someone who's lacking in a bit of confidence though, Jamie.
And Mason Mount, listen, Mason Mount for me, a fantastic young player coming through, but that again is not a chance, but he's definitely going to be more of a goal threat. That's a great effort.
Yeah.
Rather than a chance. So the actual chance
was nowhere near Mason Mount when they played Real Madrid a year ago. Nowhere near.
Not the same. But this is another long-range effort. So we actually look at chances. You'd probably say
forcing them to.
No, but it was only the Lukaku one you say should score.
That's the only chance. Because Real Madrid defended the box and they knew who they have at the goal. They have Courtois. To score a goal outside the box, it's got to be a screamer, you know what I mean?
And you got this one, Ziyech. I mean, again...
It's a half chance, isn't it? You expected him to hit in a target from there. He tries to put too much purchase on it, and it's just over the bar. But he had a few half chances, we would say. But that was down to Real Madrid. Good play today.
But pace-wise, I'm talking about what surprised me energy-wise. I knew that Kroos, Modric, Casemiro can keep the ball. But Mitchmas, for me...
Was that from Valverde and Vinicius?
Valverde and Azpilicueta. Valverde, puff. Vinicius and James or Christensen in the first half. Puff.
Yeah.
That surprised me a bit.
Yeah.
How vital are them two, especially when you've got Benzema who likes to come deep? You've got to have them in behind.
They are brilliant. I mean, if you are James and you want to go forward bombing, and you are great in that, I love the player. But when you have Vinicius there, then you are a little bit, I ain't going to go. I have to be there.
Do you mean better if Azpilicueta was on that side and James on the other?
Well, I don't know. The problem in the first half was I expected when we spoke before the game, I expected that James or Azpilicueta will play against Vinicius. But in the first half, it was Christensen against Vinicius, and that's a major problem. Yeah.
I tell you what, let's go back out to Stamford Bridge because Jules Breach is out there for us, hanging on. And we did say we'd come back to you and look ahead to the second leg of this game. I'm wondering, how do you see it, Jules?
They're still here, by the way, Kate. They've still not left. About half of them have filtered out, but you can probably still hear some of them singing. They're still pretty loud as well. I think they will certainly be looking forward to the second leg next week now. I think in terms of what Chelsea might need to do differently, just listening to what you guys were talking about in the studio there, is they just need to take their chances. And I think what we saw tonight from the contrast in the two number 9s for Chelsea and for Real Madrid is a complete contrast. And it epitomised really what's happening with Lukaku at the moment. You know, on one hand in Benzema, you've got someone who is full of confidence, scoring goals, adored by the fans. And in Romelu Lukaku, you've got a player who's low in confidence and who I heard from the fans sat around me in the stands. They were quite critical of him tonight and, you know, weren't too happy about his performance. So they're going to have to take their chances. They also need to not leak goals like they have in their last 2 matches. They conceded 4 against a team in the bottom half of the Premier League, Brentford, here on Saturday, and now another 3 here tonight. And that is not characteristic of a Thomas Tuchel side because they have one of the best defences in the Premier League. So I think there needs to be a huge level of improvement in all areas of the pitch, really, as they go into the second leg. And thinking about how we all predicted our brackets to go between now and the final, I think it's really interesting because this was probably one of the hardest of the quarterfinals to pick. But when you look at it now, you would strongly have Real Madrid in favour to go on and face probably Manchester City in the semi-final.
All right, Jules. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed for you, you get to go to Spain for the return leg.
I hope so. I tell you what, the rain has calmed down now, but as you can tell, it's rather windy. It's not been the best weather, but hey, that's what football's all about, and it still didn't ruin anything here tonight. The atmosphere, absolutely incredible, and that's exactly what we want to see at this stage of the Champions League. You just can't beat it, can you?
OK, fine, you talked yourself out of it. Thanks very much, Jules. Good to see you.
She's the same agent as you. You get any business class straight from LA. She can't get a flight to Madrid.
Oh! Get your expenses forms in.
The point you made about Romelu Lukaku, it was an opportunity for him to change his story at Chelsea tonight.
No, I'm not going to kick someone where they're down. He missed a bad chance today.
I'm not asking you to, but I'm just asking you, what do you think it means for his future at Chelsea? Because this was an opportunity for him to make his mark on a big game and turn those fans around and get them on board.
Yeah, but it's what the manager gives you. You know, Slaven will tell you. At this moment in time, he's not played to the level. He doesn't feel loved. He's come out and done his interview.
It's not down to the man. It's down to Lukaku, mate. It's not about the love from the manager. You spend 100 million on a player to make the difference in these games. He can't even get in the team.
Yeah, but you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. He's obviously low on confidence. He's not been bringing him on in a lot of the games.
He's got to do more. He's got to do a lot more.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with him. He's got to do more, 100% for 100 million. But at the same time, if you not feel loved somewhere, breakdown in communications happened somewhere. And today he come on and he missed a sitter. It'll be on all socials, everyone will be taking the mick out of him. But he's a top quality player. He's just going through a bad time at this moment.
I think he's just below the elite. I've always felt that. We used to have Roberto on, who obviously managed him. His goal record's fantastic if you look at his numbers. But I always feel whenever we've spoke about Lukaku, there's always been he gets a lot of goals, and there's always been a but. It's almost like you never say.
When he was at Inter, did you feel that there was a but?
No, but I don't think that's the degree. I don't think it's the Premier League. We're not talking about the top level of the Champions League. I think they got knocked out of the semi-final of the Europa League as well. We should, you know. So he's never quite... And even his record in the Premier League, even though he scored a lot of goals, I think when you looked at the teams, it was never against the biggest teams. And he's a very good player. But when you're talking about Benzema, when you're talking about maybe Harry Kane, when you're talking about Lewandowski, when you're talking about maybe Haaland's different, he's just coming through now. But for me, he's just always being a little bit below that, and I don't question the manager at all in that situation.
Me too.
This thing about needing love, just go and play well.
Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe you mentioned Inter. I follow a lot Serie A. He was number 1. He was main star at Inter. But he came to Chelsea, despite all this money, but he came to the European champions. So it's not only you. We have Jorginho, we have Kovacic, we have Kante, we have Havertz, who scored in the final. We have other players. You know, maybe he needs that to be absolutely undisputed number one in a team. With Chelsea,
well, he's never going to get to the top. He's never going to be in a top team then.
But Mika, I agree with you up to some point. But this is quarter final. I mean, football game is very long, 90 minutes. But it's all about details. His chance tonight was better than both of Benzema's chances. It was better chance, and he missed it. And you have to be criticized for that. I'm not talking about they should slaughter him or kill him or go below the belt. No. But did he make an impact? No. Did he have a chance to score a goal? Yes. He didn't.
Turn Micah around. Micah's nodded his head now. Listen,
No.
There's no time.
Benzema missed a chance in here, but he rectified it by scoring another goal. That's what happens with strikers.
I didn't read anywhere that Tuchel was criticizing Lukaku.
No.
He's treating him well in the papers.
Yes.
In the media. He's talking okay
Start
about
an
it.
argument for again. I'm trying to go to a break.
Sorry.
¿Te gustaría que durara ahora mismo esta sensación? Este
Journalist asked him, how long would you like this feeling to last, the one that you're feeling right now? He says, a lot of time, a long time. It's been magical, just like it was at the Bernabeu against PSG. Today we came to this game to win it. We wanted to play like Real Madrid play. Things went extremely well for us. We played well. And we played this game to the final minutes of it.
Hablabas de ese momento mágico frente al Paris Saint-Germain, pero fueron 30 minutos.
We had that magical moment against PSG. And do you think that this is the best Real Madrid that we've seen for a while? He said, yeah, I think so. We fought until the end of this game. We came here to win it. And this was the same for us today. Which goal made you happier today, the journalist asked him?
El otro es fruto del esfuerzo, de la presión del trabajo. No sé, ¿qué te deja a ti más
Which is the one that makes you most satisfied that you scored? He says all three. They're all three important, and that's all there is to say. I think probably the third one, though, because I had missed one at the end of that first half. So it's always important to put a goal in the back of the net, so probably it's the third one I'm really happy with. Karim Benzema, another big performance, and we just keep seeing him again and again come up clutch in these games that really matter. It was interesting you were talking about him earlier, saying how, Cristiano Ronaldo really enjoyed playing alongside Karim Benzema because he wasn't selfish. But now Karim Benzema is really enjoying an ability to be selfish and get those goals.
Exactly, but he makes both. He also, in Spanish leagues, is the best assistant. So he does everything now, and he enjoys the pressure. The pressure is now on him to score the most goals. There's no Ronaldo, there's no doubt. So, but it's unbelievable when we spoke about how energetic they were and everything. It's unbelievable how much confidence as a team you have when you have somebody in that form like he's having now.
Do you think he feels loved?
Of course he feels love. All the love. He's a made man. Carragher, I'm sorry!
Look at that.
Wow. I mean, 82 goals in Champions League. It's just astonishing numbers. Obviously, Ronaldo and Messi out of this world, but Benzema.
Yeah, the last couple of games, and those games are not against Billericay. Those games are against Paris Saint-Germain and against Chelsea. Yeah. Top teams, they can't be any better.
No disrespect to Billericay.
2 hat-tricks. No. 2 hat-tricks. Scary. Scary.
What about Carlo Ancelotti? There was conversation about whether he'd actually managed to be there for the game. He was there. He tested negative for COVID, managed to get over there. There's kind of the thought with Real Madrid that they haven't been playing spectacularly, but they've been getting the results in La Liga and they've built up that lead. What do you think of Real Madrid under Carlo Ancelotti?
He's a brilliant manager. He doesn't have very complex tactics. But it's because once I spoke to him when they played in Istanbul against Galatasaray, and I was at the game and I came to hotel. He told me, I had tactics at Milan, at Chelsea, but when I came to Real Madrid, those players are the best players in the world. So I give them frames. Of course, he gives them frames, but not too much.
I think he's a manager who is suited more than anything to having the top players. Now, he was manager of Everton, and what Slaven's saying, that maybe at Everton you've got to work more with the players. You haven't got the great players. You may have to change things. You may have to maybe more coaching or give them more information. I think whenever you speak to, and I spoke to sort of Frank Lampard and John Terry when he was at Chelsea, they loved him, not as he's a great tactician, he was like Mourinho. They loved him as a guy. And every club he's sort of been at, I just think he suits having the big stars. They like a manager like that.
There is a saying, sometimes less is more. But don't forget about the tactics, that tonight he put at the right wing, but not Asensio, not Rodrigo. He put Valverde there. And Valverde, to me, was one of the key players in tonight's win.
For sure.
So there's also tactics. He knows tactics, he knows everything. But he knows when to use it a little bit and when to use it like in a major way.
Benzema hat-trick today for Real Madrid against Chelsea. Villarreal with a win against Bayern Munich. Slaven Bilic on set for the first time. It's been an honour to have you with us. We've really enjoyed it. There was a couple of times we were watching you and we just kind of saw you twitch a couple of times as if you were going to offer Micah Richards an arm wrestle. And so we were thinking about it.
It's not happening. I've not been embarrassed twice in a week.
Is he going to get his confidence back?
No, not a chance.
It's an opportunity at redemption. Think about this, right? Redemption for New York. Redemption for 2018 World Cup, Croatia against England. Redemption for 2007, Micah Richards, young Micah Richards on the pitch for England against Croatia. What do you do? You want to stab at redemption?
What is No, I have too much respect for Slaven. I'll pass on this.
Oh no, Slaven seems all right with it.
Yeah, no. I'm 53. I'm a veteran. You know, I'm old for that.
Oh, Mike, I tried. It'd be nice for you to have a victorious moment on television for a minute, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. It's been a bad couple of weeks.
Are you looking forward to next week?
He was big Meeks when he went to America. He's little Meeks now.
You looking forward to next week?
I can't wait because, in all seriousness, I think City game Atletico is a really special game. You know, I don't think that's
done deal, isn't it? You already said in the production meeting.
I didn't say it was a done deal.
You said it was a done deal.
I didn't say that on air.
Slaven. Done and dusted.
No. It's going to be tough. But I'm looking forward to the game. I just think Man City will have enough, but a few nervy moments, let's say.
OK, change the tune. Chelsea, interesting comments coming from Thomas Tuchel over there.
Yeah, he mentioned that I think he was asked after the game, is the tie still alive? And he said no. And then I think he was asked again, is that being lost in translation? And he was still adamant, no, the game is not alive. So whether that's maybe trying to take the pressure off or what, but he obviously thinks it's a sticky situation.
Wow. All right.
It's all happening.
Slaven, it's been really fun having you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Please come back sometime, would you?
Yeah. Business class.
Yeah. OK, brilliant. So then, what a week we've had. La Liga teams reigning in Spain and London tonight.
Don't finish the show the way you started it.
I'll just stammer my way through the goodbye. It's been fun, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.